Aces Up, episode 40 is live here with the high stakes crew. So I decided to go with the high stakes intro instead of the traditional Aces Up intro. It's been a while since we played that one. So what do you guys think of that one? That one just as good as the other one. This one's a little hip hop. The other one's a little more emo, like emo Metallica rock and roll style. But yeah, so I thought I'd switch it up tonight and we do that intro. Both of them very, very well done by JC. Shout out JC, Money Design. We love him, man. So appreciate that. Guys, we got a big matzo ball tonight of the news with this Josh Jacobs facing up to 5 charges. A lot of domestic abuse, something about strangulation. I'll get your guys' thoughts on it, and then I'll chime in mine as well. So we got Joey Brown, Michael Gamburg here. Regular NFFC high stakes players. Although we'll be covering a big gorilla board tonight that Mike did a draft last night. So we're going to go over that board of the first 12 rounds anyways. We'll get Mike's insights and what he was thinking throughout this draft and grab some player takes along the way. But first, I want to get you guys' thoughts on Josh Jacobs. Joey, I'll start with you, man. What are you thinking here?
I mentioned it to Michael earlier. We was talking about it, and it's a big deal, but it's really not. If we sit and watch, and what I mean by that, I'm not saying out there, people, that it's not a big deal what he done. I'm talking fantasy legal rights. They're going to let the legal system play out. He might not get suspended till next year. I mean, that we've seen this in the past with other stuff going on. So, I mean, unless somebody steps in and does something, I can't see anything being different in the legal process of things. Which
right.
I could be totally wrong, but I'm just going by the last few years. Rashee Rice and others. I mean,
was Addison right?
Yeah, Jordan Addison. Yeah,
he got delayed.
I mean, he may drop because people may be afraid of him. He might be one that you may want to take. I mean, I'm just talking fantasy. I don't agree with nothing what he did or what supposedly he done. But from a fantasy standpoint, he may drop a few rounds. And like I said, he may not get no suspension this year. It may carry over
right
to next year.
Usually the NFL lets the legal process play out first and then goes from there. I kind of agree with you on that front, Joe. I will say this: I wasn't, had no initial ambition to draft Josh Jacobs in the first place. At his, he's going in the 3rd round. That's a pretty high price tag. Especially in the NFFC format, you need 3 wide receivers, so it's tough to trust. And I know he's been solid when he's on the field, and he gets a ton of volume in the Green Bay offense as pretty much the only running back there. Emmanuel Wilson departed and went to Seattle, so it's basically just him, Marshawn Lloyd. So I mean, Mike, what do you think? Do you think that they go out and try to make a move for like a Najee Harris, or try to entice Arizona with a trade, or some team that's running back rich? What would your plans be right now if you're the Green Bay Packers?
Is the circuit? Did he get it? He got arrested, is that correct?
That's correct. Correct. He's been arrested and he's been charged with. I can bring it up in a minute.
Been arraigned, I guess.
He's got 5 different charges that will result in jail time if he's found guilty. We know that the legal process is complicated. Sometimes it can take a lot of time. We don't know all the facts, so we really can't speculate much. But just your opinion like Joey gave us an opinion that he doesn't think, until the legal process plays out, he don't think there'll be any suspension.
Yeah,
So,
we'll have to wait through the summer. I agree. I mean, it looks like,
yeah,
if past history, tells us it'll be delayed till next year. I mean, for fantasy purposes, it might not really affect his playing on the field, but we'll see through the summer. You'll probably before training camp you'll have a better idea, I would think. At least what
So was he a target of yours, or do you think if he drops a little bit, will you be interested in picking him?
It wasn't a target of mine, but
yeah,
if he slipped, without it look like he's going to miss the season. I mean, if he slipped to like the 5th round, I mean, I take anybody on with a certain price,
Yeah.
Price is right. You'll take anybody, even guys that you're fading, really. In my case, you got to be flexible. You might not like a guy, but if he's 3 rounds later or something, whatever, why not? It's always about the price.
Right.
The only other thing we got to watch out for is does Green Bay step in and do a little bit of team discipline? Might miss a game or two. That's possible. But going back to what Joe said, who would be the perfect fit at that if they have to bring somebody in is James Conner. I mean,
yeah.
Just
I agree.
Maybe like a 4th or 5th round pick, maybe even a 6th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
one thing about Jacobs is he's got a lot of mileage the last couple of years. Last year wasn't productive for him, really. He didn't get the touch. He was injured. The production wasn't like it was the year before. Sure, and that's really the reason I'm kind of shying away from him. He's not a big pass catcher, and at least he hasn't been, at least last year. And he's getting older. He's gotten hurt. He's gotten hurt.
He does have a lot of
now he's got this over his
mileage.
head. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, I think Joey made a good point. That James Conner's it's a veteran guy. He can step right in. They're definitely if there's an issue with him being on the field, they're definitely going to find somebody else.
Yeah,
they're not going to stick with what they have if they want, unless they don't want to win games, unless they want to go for the lottery. First pick in the draft. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking.
They don't have the horses right now nearly.
James Conner, maybe Najee Harris, possible Alvin Kamara. Although I don't think Alvin Kamara leaves New Orleans. I think he retires if they're going to push him out the door. That's just my opinion on Kamara. But and then there's who else? That's really Nick Chubb. I mean, is he
walking?
I think that they have a Nick Chubb and Marshawn Lloyd, right? No,
when you sit and talk about it, you almost say it's almost time for them to let the training wheels off of Jordan Love and let him open it up. Everybody liking Christian Watson in the 4th round nowadays, so it might be a Jordan Love team.
Right? Maybe Jaden Reed. Can get more than 60 to 65%.
Should be back fine. He should be back ready to go. That was really affected their offense when he went down. Besides Jacobs, I mean, at least Jacobs last year they had the guy who's on Seattle now.
Casey says Aaron Jones. Bring him back home. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he's another veteran guy. That would be odd. Going back. I'm trying to think of guys.
That's just nuts, though. It's some serious allegations, though. Five different charges. Definitely not.
This might be a first time for something they might do in season. I mean, we don't know, but usually they They let it play out.
I don't think the team will suspend him unless he's found, before the verdict comes, there's a decision made. I just don't think I think that's probably in the CBA. Can you suspend a, he's not.
Would they suspend him, or would they just outright release him? Do you think they would outright release him if they did some team investigation and found out?
That's if they were dead.
Found out, yeah.
They can do it. They could do it, but I unless they were 110% sure that this thing is,
I seen it go down with one of my favorite players of all time. So Aaron Hernandez.
Oh yeah.
So it can happen. As soon as the team was like, "Yep, this is true," the city was.
Oh yeah, so. I mean, but yeah, that's. I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean,
this is not good. This is not good. It's if it's true, if he's found guilty.
Let me look up Drew Davenport's post because he made a couple of interesting comments, and I want to shout him out and quote him on it because I think that there's in their facts. He stated some interesting facts about the situation.
Yeah, he's pretty good about that stuff.
Yeah, well, he's a lawyer. He's been a lawyer for over 20 years, I believe.
He's got expertise in the area.
And specifically, defending criminals. Here it is. He says, non-fatal strangulation is one of the charges. And he says that it's one of the highest predictors of intimate partner homicide. Non-fatal strangulation means that a person is 6 times more likely to attempt a homicide and 7 times more likely to complete it. And he lists, he gives out, domesticshelters.org. If you or anybody needs to quickly find resources in your area, you can put in your area code on these websites, for help, basically. So I think Drew takes it pretty seriously. I think he's obviously had some experience here, with these charges, perhaps.
That's connecting he knows how to connect the dots, that's sweet.
So this is how serious the charges are. I think he's trying to make us understand that.
Any past issues in his? Is he any?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I never heard anything went wrong with Josh Jacobs. I mean,
me neither.
I mean, the charge is one thing, but is it true?
Yeah.
I just know when her lawyer. I'm not saying if he's guilty or not guilty, but her lawyer is going to come up. They're going to make it as bad as possible.
Right, obviously.
You seem as bad as possible.
If there's evidence, then they're gonna. Yeah, then there's. I mean,
right. They're gonna come up with the stuff that makes it look as bad as possible. Now that might not be true at all. But
we'll see. It's got to play out. It's got to play out.
That is true. He's right. He's seen it happen in that case. That leads to that's big anger. Real anger issues. Obviously. Real matter if that's the case, but we don't know that, and they're gonna, like I said, they're just gonna basically juice it up as bad as possible for him. But he must have quit.
Steve.
I think it's a lot of times they're looking for it could be settlement. It's. Look at the I'm saying Rice was like Ray Rice was guilty, but look at he got because they had the video and stuff. But look, his girlfriend or his fiance, she basically for the money she kind of softened their stance so fast. When it came down to it, if you remember at the end, I mean he was going to get cut because there was video evidence. He was never going to make it through, but who knows? I mean, talking about fantasy, I think I wasn't really drafting him to start. Like I said, there's always a price that I would take a guy, any guy.
Yeah,
there's always going to be a price that you're going to buy it. You might not want it, but that price. There's always a price, so we'll see.
All
right, so we're going to pull up a draft board. It's from a FFPC.
Let me ask y'all something, Bill.
All right, go ahead,
Joe. What's your take on, before we go to that, right quick, more fancy, what's your take on Bucky Irving and Gainwell?
Well, somebody said, I think the coach said it's, summer and fall.
Or fall.
Schefter said he should be good,
yeah.
Camp. So fall, I mean, I wasn't really in on him either, but there's always, we'll see what the price is.
I don't know if Joe had seen much of it.
We'll find out more. I guess you have to read between the lines unless it comes out that he's not going to be ready for the start of the season.
What do you know, Joe? Joey's talking like he knows something over there.
No, I really don't. I'm just curious about draft capital.
Going in. I was more pro Bucky than Kenneth Gainwell, but as we're getting more information about Bucky Irvin, I'm starting to think that maybe that initial take was wrong. Bucky Irvin's definitely been sliding in drafts. I know the one I did a couple of weeks ago, he went in the 6th round, and I think I've seen him in best ball drafts and other draft boards in the 7th round.
I'm happy when we pull up mine, he went in the 4th round. Made me happy.
Steve says there was a rumor that Bucky might retire.
Well, not really saying what he just said, but if y'all go back and look, and people in the audience, the messages, they can chime in if I'm wrong, but he struggled mainly with that injury last year. I mean, it's a real concern. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but
so Joe, you're on the Gainwell train. Sounds like, right? He's going to start creeping up if that's the case. If Bucky keeps falling up. When I pull up the draft board, we'll see where Bucky went.
And even a guy like Bucky's up. I mean, really, Tucker comes in for probably the 1st and 2nd downs, at least to start.
Well, I did take Gainwell and the baby gorilla that I'm in the process of doing. I did take him there, so
I got a lot of Gainwell in the DK best balls. I mean,
Joey knows how to sniff out the 0 RB target. So if his eyebrows already raised at Gainwell, I think people need to take note of that because, especially me, because I didn't think he was going to have more than 30% of a role without Bucky missing time. So if Bucky isn't 100%, or if he gets to training camp late, or he has any type of setbacks, then now might be the time to pounce on Gainwell before he jumps up another round or two. Shout out to Jamie's channel. Jamie, is it Jamie Parag? That's who we shouting out. I think that's the only Jamie I know.
I mean, right? What I kind of Bucky had obviously injury issues last year, but once they paid Gainwell with Tucker already there, I mean, it wasn't. That kind of tells you something. They paid Gainwell, and I couldn't. If you told me 2 years ago that Kenneth Gainwell was going to get this kind of money, I'd tell you you were crazy. I mean, he was okay for the Eagles.
Steve said he's the only person to draft him. I picked him up in the New York Live 350 last year.
Steve got 73 receptions out of him last year too.
I used them. I think I got 2 different 30. It was like a 30 and a 28 or a 29.6 or something like that. Two different weeks. I used them both weeks because I had a 0 RB team. I mean, Aaron Jones was my number 1 running back. I ended up patching together a good 0 RB. Built Rico Dowdle. Bailed me out. Build that roster out too. I almost won the league. That was the one that we all first or third was like 0.7 points apart. Nice. Cut Gainwell and then picked him back up. Yeah, he was a free agent last year early on. Dude.
Yeah, because he came to life, baby.
Everybody held on to Caleb Johnson, including me. I think it was like week 9. I finally dropped Caleb Johnson.
You know, that's funny you said that about Gainwell. That's 2 players I can think of last year. People drafted Gainwell, they dropped him, they had him back, and the other one was Jalen Coker. Everybody was on Jalen Coker. Then, okay, we dropped him when we added him. People added him back. I mean, it was funny. It's funny how fancy.
Well, Coker got hurt when he got hurt.
Yeah,
he was hurt in the beginning of the year, and then he came.
He looked really good.
He came to be a monster, especially Joe. You had him. You almost start. At least you got a good start in the NFC postseason.
Yeah.
Pool.
Yeah,
you were one of the few guys that took Coker.
I have to give y'all credit. Y'all got me more focused this year than I have been. I've never been doing nothing this early, but this is a new trend. These shows and everybody like Steve, Josh, and Dan, and you two. I mean, it's got me. I'm more focused. I hate being left out last year in the playoffs. I can't handle that no more. I've got to do something.
Joey's coming back hungry this year. We got it now. We got to work. Now is the time where we got to work on you coming to New York. Speaking of that, I think you should. I think we got to get you up there, man. Steve's already in. He registered for all 4 of the drafts. I think Steve did the 1.
Gamburg's on his hot skip and jump from her, right?
Steve's coming up.
Steve D'Angelo is going to New York. Yep, that's confirmed. So now that means I'm gonna have to look for a hotel room because I know
we'll just go back to Philly and help Mike to take care of that dog.
I'm trying to get Joey to come up so I can split a hotel room with him and not have to pay $500 on my own.
They're only doing 1 OC, right? They're not doing 2 OCs.
There's 1 OC at 4 p.m.
That's it, right?
Yeah. There's a prime time at 1, a prime time at 6, a prime time at 10, silver bullet at 10, and I think they do auctions, the 2 auctions in the morning, like 10 and 12 o'clock. The big $2,500 auction, $1,500 auction, and I don't know when the super is. The super.
I think the super, it's already
I love that.
reserved. It's already locked up. I mean, guys that.
Yeah, no, I know, but the super is there. It goes down there.
Yeah, they'll have that on Sirius XM as usual, probably. They always do.
Doing the OC, I think, is why.
I stayed for the first 10 rounds last year. It was about and then I had to catch a train back at Penn Station back to Boston.
What, the OC?
Yeah, the super.
Oh,
excuse me. Yeah, the New York Super. So that's definitely a heavy hitter draft.
So Joe, you're doing what? What are you doing? The 2 primes? Or
as of right now, I'm doing the OC. I'm thinking about doing the bullet as well. I think I might do the 10 p.m. bullet.
Good.
What'd you do last year?
I did the prime time and the OC, but I think I'm gonna do I think I want to do the silver bullet this year instead of the prime time. Not sure if I could do both. We'll see.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
You all even got me. I just do 1 or 2 OCs, and I'm gonna do 4 at least this year.
And that fourth one, Joe, is gonna be in New York.
Nice.
Steve's doing what? The 2 primes, the OC, and what else?
It might be 3 primes, or the bullet.
Now, Steve, he does a super draft, don't he?
Yeah, but he won't be in the New York Super. That's
right. But he usually does a draft, one of the super leagues.
Yeah, I think he does 1 or 2 of them. He might even.
That's pretty good in them too. Usually.
Yeah, I'm signed up for a prime. I'm not gonna probably do one in New York. I'm not sure yet. Depends. It depends. I want to do.
We gotta crash New York. Let's do it, Mike.
I'm definitely doing. I'm gonna do a bullet online. Prime, I'm already done. I already got. I told Joe I got 9 OCs. I'll probably do 12 or 13. That's for sure.
He got a better deal buying 9, actually, didn't he?
Yeah,
I did 9
doing
last
9
year.
anyway. I probably should have done. I probably should have even. I could have got more. I forget the next tier discount. It was.
All right, let's bring this draft board up.
Yeah.
This bad boy up here. All right. I'm going to have to enlarge it to see it. So, Joey, I'm putting you in charge of the chat if there's any questions.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't see the chat now. I wanted to see the draft board. All right, Mike.
How do I see the chat? Do I see it or?
Yeah, it should be on the side.
You get comments. I just see it now.
Oh, I'm on a private chat. Never mind.
Oh yeah, Steve's doing OC Prime and the bullet. He's doing.
Okay.
All right, so Mike, what team are you here? What team are you? I see.
What team is you? Know what team I'm at? I'm in the 6th spot.
Oh,
his initials look like
Madison Square Garden. That's my initial. Madison Square Garden.
No, what's the name of your street? Bullies? Well, I forget the name of your street that told you to name your team.
I live on Locust Street.
Yeah, the Locust Street Bullies.
Broad Street's right next over.
When you look at his team name, I look at it as Madison Square Garden up there.
Yeah, that's.
So I see Steve G. I see Steve in there. Team 1.
Steve's in there. Yeah.
Fantasy Sopranos.
He's everywhere.
There's no.
I'm not going to list off all of them, but I recognize a couple of names.
Yeah, I was telling you guys. I got in. I saw when you see one open. I looked. It's like I'm a junkie, so I had to go in 10 o'clock. I had to. Door gave me no problems, and I was ready to go.
Nice. All right, so Mike, why don't you talk us through this? You had the 6th pick. This is the FFPC Big Gorilla, $350 buy-in, $1 million top prize, right? $1 million for the
top prize, no KDS, tight end premium.
Tight end premium, no KDS. It's also not 3rd round reversal. This is a straight snake.
Right.
And it's random. Yep, random draft order. You drew the 6th pick. I think you got a great 6th pick. I'm going to ask you though, why JSN over Brock Bowers in a tight end premium? I'm not saying I disagree with you. I just want your reasoning behind it here because I know people take Bowers as high as 4 or 5.
Sometimes they do. I don't get it. Guys, I've seen guys get crazy with 2 tight ends in the first 3 rounds, and I don't know. I think JSN is going to score. He's going to score more points. Let's put it that way. No question about. No question about it. In my opinion, unless he gets hurt. I mean, I think it's a sucker's point. I mean, what I like the FFPC gives more. It's
1.5, right?
Player. It makes it easier because you got more flexibility in your roster. You could go 3 tight ends. You could go 4 running backs and 2. So,
right. It's 2 flex, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back. Right. Yeah.
So
and 1 tight end. Yeah.
I think they make it. If you're the number 7 pick, you get if you're number 7, you get I think I got it last year. You get a free best ball. I almost got it 3 times in a row. I could have got a free main event. If you get the number 7, that's another thing they added last year. You get the 7, you get it's
a main event entry.
You get it twice in a row. Twice in a row. You get, I think, twice in a row, 3 times in a row. I was looking for. I got twice in a row. I got a free.
Steve in the chat, he liked JSN over Bowers also.
I agree. No, I'm not. That's why I said I'm not saying I disagree with you. I just I wanted to use your thoughts on it.
I mean, here's what I was talking. My only concern was my next pick I would have taken ASB if he wasn't there.
Right.
I was happy to see. The question was somebody going to take take somebody early, and it was when I saw McCaffrey, I said I'm getting Puka or JSN. I knew the fourth guy's taking Jay. That was a lock. He was on auto the whole. If you see him, he was on auto the whole draft. And the good thing about the auto
looks like he set a queue though.
I mean, the NFC should do the same thing. I would tell Tom or Greg. If you do auto in the FFPC, you don't have to wait the 59 seconds. It takes the pick goes right away, so you're not sitting there when a guy's on auto. The NFC.
I never even noticed. I
noticed that because he basically was boom, and every pick was auto for him. If you noticed, he got the asterisk next to it.
Right.
So that's something I wish the NFC does. I mean, with good players, you don't really get them. You don't make many guys in auto, but sometimes you do, and it's so annoying. You're sitting there, you got to wait 59 seconds.
Team 4 is pretty nice. I'm looking up and down that Team 4, and I like it. Then Jamar Chase, then Saquon in round 2. And then Malik Neighbors.
I'm not a fan of the double tight end there, but
double tap tight end. Yeah, but he got 2 good ones.
Yeah, I mean, but he sacked. I mean, I think that's a sucker's play. People see the point and a half, and I get in these. I haven't seen.
Yeah, but when you have, if you land 2 top 5 tight ends and you play, doesn't it not give you a little bit of a positional advantage?
Passing up. I mean, we'll see at the end. I don't know.
He passed up on Bucky, Trevion Anderson, David Montgomery.
Too many tight ends. You see a lot of tight ends with the blind. They're unfortunately they're prone to injury. They do a lot of blocking. They do a lot of other things besides giving you fantasy production. They got that's involved in their job. Unfortunately, in real football.
Right.
Team 7's interesting. Well, they did take Brock Bowers, but he got the Baltimore stack. He's got Zay Flowers, Lamar, and Andrews.
Yeah, I like that.
That's interesting.
And he scooped up all the good 0 RB targets: Jadarian Price, R.J. Harvey, Kenny Gainwell, and Chris Rodriguez. Four pretty good 0 RB targets.
My second pick, I was going to take London. He took London. Then Hampton was a natural for me. And then coming back, it was between A.J. Brown and Pickens. I just think A.J. Brown in the 3rd round, I think he's going to go to yours, June 1st.
Wherever he goes, he's going to play pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's an increase in fantasy stock.
I can tell you that personally from going to every Eagles game.
Yeah.
He still has it. The problem was offense, the scheme and the quarterback. So we'll see if that changes this year with the new system. But I think he's going to have something to prove, and I don't think he's lost it. I think he's going to be hungry for the 3rd round. That's why I took him over Pickens. He's going to be if he goes to New England, he's going to be the alpha. I mean, Pickens is always going to be. He's going to be a 1. He'll be a 1.5. He won't be. Basically, he's not going to be a 1.
And then it swung back around to you in the 4th round, and I like this pick as one of my as a nice 4th round target in my opinion.
I didn't like the running backs there.
Right, you got Javonte, Bucky.
I might have thought of even though Kyron in the 4, I might have thought of him, or even that was an easy pick. And the next, next one was even easier. I was considering Watson in the 4th round. Actually, it was between him, McLaurin, and McConkey. Basically, were
right.
But I was happy the way it fell. I think Watson now with Wicks and Dobbs cleared out. And way he looked on the field the last playoffs and the last half of the year. I mean, he's on the field. He's could be a monster. He can make some big plays.
So Bucky goes in the 4th round in this draft.
I was happy to see that.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
I was happy to see Javonte Williams. So I like him, but I don't. Do I like? I got him in the 8th to 10th round last year. Do I like him in the 4th round? I don't think so.
A lot of shop people are liking him just because of the volume and the goal line carries, and the fact
I don't think it's bad, but I think it's.
The fact that Dallas has that Cincinnati Bengal type of environment where they give up points and then they're forced to stay on the attack all the time offensively. So we'll see if that changes this year.
I think that. I mean, we'll see. But I don't. I just
fourth round.
In the NFL, I wouldn't like him in the 4th round. I think there's better. When you got to start 3 wide receivers, it's He took Kenneth Walker. I mean, he took basically. I don't. In this format, he's got flexibility. You could go 4 running backs, and you could start all 4 of them. I don't understand. I saw a guy in the I'm not sure if it was your draft, Joe, or in the NFC. I mean, I don't understand a guy taking 4 running backs to start. In the end,
I saw that. I saw that on. It wasn't my draft.
It was somebody else. It was a OC. I forget. It was
I think it might have been the one the football guys live streamed.
Right.
And I saw that the guy had 4 running backs in the first 6 rounds.
You tell me what purpose is that's just giving money away.
That's I was just gonna say that. I call that NFFC suicide. There's ways to commit NFFC suicide based on the format, and taking 4 running backs in the first 6 rounds is very hard to recover from when you have to start 3 wide receivers.
You're happy to see that.
You can make it work, I guess, if everything aligns right and then you avoid injuries and whatnot. But you're asking for a perfect world, so it's definitely risky strategy.
One guy was drafted just in baseball, the NFC baseball. One guy by accident. I mean, he did it. It was on auto. He didn't realize it. He drafted on auto. He had it on auto, and he took it. In the first pick, he took Ohtani, and then he took Kyle Schwarber. And they're both UTs. But at least it worked out great for him because he could put Ohtani in pitcher, and Schwarber's killing the ball. So there's a case where it worked out. I mean,
a good mistake. Yeah.
I mean, he's got to start Ohtani as pitcher. I mean, you got to use both of them. You're not going to sit both. One of them. I mean, I guess he did. I wonder to see how he's doing, but it actually worked out well for him, even though it wasn't by design, obviously. Just going back to mine, I went 6th round. I think I got a value there with Laporta.
Yeah.
In this format, I think he's coming back.
I think he benefits from David Montgomery departing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know people think Jahmyr Gibbs is just going to score 1 million touchdowns, but I think, with the healthy Laporta and David Montgomery not there to help out around the goal line in the red zone, I think Laporta could be utilized a lot more here, and we could see a spike year for touchdowns for Sam Laporta if he could stay healthy, and of course more volume too. But go ahead, Mike. And
then afterwards, I wasn't looking for it, but it fell to me. I mean, I'm a big Joe guy. I mean, taking him in the 7th round, I'll take him all day.
Right, and is 4 points for a pass and touchdown in the FFPC, the NFFC we play in, the football guys online challenge. 6 points for
either way in the 7th round.
I mean, this is why he goes after Drake May, Lamar Jackson, and Jaden Daniels, because they get the rushing bonus with the rushing quarterbacks become a little bit more valuable because the passing quarterbacks are getting 2 points less for their passing.
I was thinking about Drake May with the A.J. Brown, but I needed the tight ends. The tight ends went off. It was the end of the tier for me, basically.
Right, and then Kincaid went, and Kittle, and
I didn't want either one of those. And when Pitts and Tucker Kraft went, it left. I figured I needed tight end. He was there, and the 6th round. I wasn't paying up. 4th, 5th round capital.
Right.
So, and I would have taken, if I didn't take the tight end, I was taking Drake May. I was telling Joe, I wasn't looking for the Charger stack. Not with Herbert. To me, not with Hampton, and I just didn't excite me. I think he'll have a good year, Herbert. But what you're getting out of Joe Burrow when he's production wise, and Drake May with the hookup with AJ Brown, that would have been nice. But I had to go a different direction, and at least I got a quality quarterback and didn't have to pay much, really.
Steve put in a question asking, do we think the Lions will continue to regress?
I haven't followed. How's their offensive line looking this year?
They supposedly have an easy schedule,
right?
Based on last year's results, of course. They still play indoor. I still think they're all. I think they're all right for fantasy, but they missed the playoffs last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
They missed yeah. So I think that's what Steve's getting at, is just the overall team itself. I happen to think that there's a chance of a bounce back. That division is
fantasy bonanza.
That division, fantasy bonanza. That division is really hard to predict. It's almost like last year it was Minnesota, the team with the most misfortune. Also they had quarterback issues, and they're probably still looking at the bottom. Being the bottom of the division, going into the season, but things can change in that division, in my opinion. You got Caleb Williams, progressing another year with Ben Johnson. Chicago is really looking like potential Super Bowl contenders. Green Bay, now that they get the Josh Jacobs stuff looming, but they have a solid roster up and down defensively. So and then Detroit, we know what their offense is capable of. They still have Jahmyr Gibbs. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta healthy, Jamison Williams, Isaac. Like, their offense, we know can put up points. But like you said, Mike, I like your point about the offensive line, because if you can, there's one way to get Jared Goff off his game, and that's getting pressure on him. So I think you hit the nail on the nose. It all depends on that offensive line, right. Allowing the offense to keep them in games.
A lot of guys also, I see, some people like, later on is Tesla. He didn't really, I think he didn't get the playing time last year, but I think that'll be interesting to see how he does as a late, obviously way down the road in the draft, but that'll be interesting to see. He was basically the only thing he did last year was when he caught a ball, it was a touchdown. Yes, Steve makes a good point. Would be the offensive line. It really failed them last year. He's right.
All right. So where were we at? Joe Burrow. So now talk us through your RB2 little run here.
I like Rashad White a lot.
Rashad White, yep.
Rashad White. It's a PPR. I thought that was the best pick right there. I was thinking of Gainwell. Obviously, he got snapped up, and when it came around, I figured, why not just take the other half.
Modern guy would have been nice too.
Yeah, I was thinking of him. Yeah, he was actually the guy. Yeah, the guy was.
2 picks before.
But obviously they probably saw I was probably looking at a running back because the guy who took Manungai. I mean, he went, run 3 straight running backs with Hubbard. So he probably was looking. I don't know. Was he looking?
Yeah.
Was he looking at maybe sitting with one running back? You never know what guys are thinking.
Right.
But actually,
you could start 4 running backs.
Yeah, you can start 4 and he wants to, I don't like his wide receivers. I mean, I think he's sacked. I don't know what he passed up there, but
he could have had Chris Godwin, Ricky Pearsall, Michael Wilson. Yeah, so I guess the receivers would dry at that point.
It would interest me, but we'll see. I mean, it can work. It can work because
you took 2 out of 3 Washington running backs, Krosky, Merritt, and Rashad White. I agree. I think Rashad White has a role for sure.
You might have the PPR. I think is
They also drafted Katron Allen. This is a guy. This is a guy I'm in on. I think he eventually
12th round.
I think he eventually surpasses Krosky Merritt, but anything can happen. Krosky Merritt showed some juice down the stretch last year. The last couple of games, meaningless games, but.
And then the next pick, I figured I needed. I was set at the wide receiver, obviously. I needed to focus on the running, and Tracy. I think look, Scatterboo. You never know. Scatterboo goes down. I mean, the way he put. It's Tracy might have a role, I guess, anyway. But he fits right in to be the starter, right? Who else is there? Besides who's behind Tracy?
I like him as he's one of my favorite handcuff running backs.
10th round. He's got some little standalone value. Or I don't.
He catches passes. He's yeah.
He may have a role early on with neighbors, maybe not starting out. They may use both backs, implement both of them in the passing game.
I think they're going to use a lot more of both myself. The way Scatterbo plays, I think they need to limit his reps a little bit. I mean, and once they get into like the high physical contact areas down inside the 30, the 20-yard line, then you see Scatterbo come in the game. But I think early in drives, I think you could see, I think Tyrone Tracy is going to get, somewhere between 10 and 12 carries per game and perhaps a couple of targets as well. Yeah.
And he could fall into a bigger role. I mean, like I told Joe, I said, look, with the way I built the team with Hampton, that, still got that top end running back, you just need somebody to hold down the fort in the RB2. You need somebody where you're not expecting you want a consistency. Basically, a chance and that's where I feel White probably more so than JCM to begin with because he catches passes. I mean, that's all in a PPR when it's.
I think their offensive line is going to be better this year as well. I think with the signing of Likely, now the other tight ends, the Bellinger, these guys are really good inline tight ends. I think now that they have a tight end that can split out and go in motion and move around, I think it takes some of the focus off what the other guys can. The other guys can focus more on being, they're going to get more of the inline snaps is what I guess I'm trying to say. And I just, in this, Wan'Dale Robinson just departed. You're looking at 166 vacated targets. I don't want to overrate vacated targets, but the production has to come from somewhere. So I'm with you. I do see both running backs being involved in this offense. So Tracy, great, and he's only costing me a 10th round pick here. great investment there, in my opinion.
I needed depth. I needed,
Yeah. You did a hero RB, Bill. You went hero RB, and you had to hammer the middle rounds there. We got Jalen Coker and Antonio Williams in 11 and 12. I like both of these picks. Yep.
Yeah, I was looking at, felt that actually I wasn't looking at Johnson or Golden. I'm not a believer really in stacking those guys because I'm not starting them. I'm not going to wait for an injury. I'm starting Watson. I don't like, that would have been a stack either with McConkey or with Watson. I wasn't looking at those guys. And Coker, I like what I saw out of Coker. Coker was the guy. I mean, he was really solid production, a lot of catches. I liked him. There wasn't really anybody. Higgins was a consideration, and I like this. I just went with this. This Antonio Williams. A lot of guys like.
I like him. I like him too.
I was actually thinking of him instead of Coker. I went with Coker. A little more, stability.
Yeah, no, that Coker's a great pick there. Coker's a great pick.
Williams, I took a shot, and then obviously the 13th pick I took from
Keaton Mitchell, right?
Mitchell.
I like that. You backed up Hampton.
If Hampton goes down, Mitchell's Vidal. I think when he had the opportunity last year, he dropped the ball. And
he was off and on. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he got off when they needed him though. When he was important.
I agree. He's not one to handle.
Mitchell's a more dynamic player. Can catch.
I think that they would both be involved, but like you said, Mitchell's got that
pass catching ability,
home run, and he's got the home run.
Right.
Mike McDaniel's like fast players. Well, offense will be fun.
He likes, he does. I mean, no question about it. So I was, one guy I did Aubrey. You can see I'm a big Aubrey guy. I took him in my baby gorilla so far, but I don't think it was 10th round. I did get Fairbairn. I'm a believer. I'm not.
Fairbairn's a good pick.
Kickers earlier than normal.
In the FFPC, it's kind of important too, because in the NFFC you have team kicker. So if a kicker gets injured, you're covered. Unless you want to pick up another kicker, you still can. But if not, you get whoever is kicking that game for the team that you have. So it's kind of nice to secure.
Like that format, but
it's kind of nice to secure a solid kicker in the FFPC.
Yeah, I'm a believer, and I think Christopher. I mean, I was always Joey. Joey always was kind of like me. I didn't before I even knew him. Joe, you were a Tucker guy, right? Back in the day.
I used to tell everybody, I was like, okay, here I am in round 13 or 14 of a draft, and here's 160, 170 points from a kicker. Am I going to take an RB5, wide receiver 5 or 6, throw a dart at? And this is a sure thing. I mean, that's just like if you look at this FFPC draft, these people that's watching it or that might be in it, but I wouldn't have took Aubrey right there and then, but it's funny how you see people taking defenses over these kickers. If you go look at the projections, it's not even close. Like the score. And actually, I like Michael's kicker a little bit better than I do Aubrey. And the reason why I say that, I like Aubrey. He can put you up at 6 points at any given time. But when you sit and look at kickers, team kickers, or what, C.J. Stroud's a decent quarterback. Dak Prescott is a better quarterback. You got more of a chance to getting extra points with Aubrey, where Stroud might get you. Well, actually, now they start at the 30, so 3 or 4 plays you're across midfield and stalling out. So we can talk kickers any other time. Michael Hoff, that's his job. But
Field goal attempts, Joe. I like this. Yeah, I like where you're going with this.
I
Well,
mean, if you think about it, I mean, you can get more drives stalls out than what you could with with Pickens, C.D. Lamb, Ferguson, Javonte Williams, and I like watching. I like to see what these quarterbacks. Like I said, Joe Burrow is more of an extra point guy. Josh Allen.
Yeah, one thing also is like defense. I look at the rank. I use certain people, rank, defense. If you look at where they, consensus, these guys, all these ranked, it never falls out that way. Last year, guy I used, he liked the Patriots, which I got him the 20th round, and they did great for me.
Yeah, I had them. I had a ton of Patriots too.
Particular, when I took I think I took the Green Bay defense. You can't predict kickers. Certain guys can't kick 62-yard field goals. I mean,
you talk about Joe's team, the Patriots.
Defense, you can't predict how they're going to do. It never happened.
How do you not go back to that point this year? I mean, who's quarterbacking? Malik Willis, for God's sake, Geno INT Smith. I mean,
and that they always pick Josh Allen off at least once.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen's really the only one that you got, and Gonzalez is going to get his chances.
Yeah.
That's still good defense when you break it down into by divisions. That's a good one to have.
Defense makes plays. They're not necessarily going to keep you under 12 points per game, but the defense makes plays. And
look at every year the guys that rate the top defense as a go. They wasted their pick. 90% of the time you could have waited and just take it. You got to take a defense and pick, and you probably could have done just as well.
Now that the schedule is out too, Mike, you can use that to your advantage. You get the free look on Thursday. You could take one of those defenses, and then you could take another defense. Then if they don't put up a lot of points, you drop them and pick up another defense on Saturday.
The discrepancy between the top kickers and the top, the defenses. There's not much of. You get a real edge in the kicker.
I think so. I do like New Orleans defense. I mean, I break it down in divisions. I mean, he's gonna throw some picks. Bryce Young's gonna throw some picks. Baker, he's gonna sling them up there. I mean, I like New Orleans a little bit, part of the later round defense myself, too.
Yeah, no.
Right.
But yeah, it's hard to figure. Like Denver, you got Mahomes, Herbert, and then the Raiders, of course. But Denver's got that's a pretty tough division, for defensively, and they wasn't really that great.
They're like a floor. They give you like a 6 to an 8. You don't really get the 15 or the 17 or the 20 out of Denver. Really, it's rare.
Right.
I did the one draft I did this year so far. I did take a defense early, and it was the Cleveland Browns. I think I want to say it was in the 18th, either the 17th or the 18th round. Normally, I wait for the 20th round, but
that's not early. That's it's.
It was.
Some guys are taking a defense.
It was like I don't know,
like the 13th round here. First, I could see I forget.
I think it's what it is. It was because I forget. I have to bring up the board. I'd have to look at the board, but I think I had 19th and 20th round picks targeted, and I knew that they would be there. They were like guys that were going undrafted, I believe.
Yeah, 17. You're not really. Look, you might be passing up a part, but we're taking stabs anyway. There. We're taking specs, whatever. Hopefully, you get lucky. Like last year, I did get I took a lot of stuff. I had a lot of Stafford, 19th, 20th round, in some cases, 18th. He was basically free as a back. I mean, he became my starter in most teams. That's what I don't get a lot of times. These guys like Golf and Stafford, I forget a couple other names where you see them get pushed down, but all their receivers and running backs are taken in the top 4 rounds. I mean, I've been doing that for years. With Prescott's been a value over the last several years. Big time.
It was 15th round. I took the Browns, 15th round.
Steve's putting some good comments on. He said, look for defenses with the best early schedules. Then he said kickers are mostly like closers. They change drastically. They change all the time. The top tier ones,
I think
they're pretty tight. That's a good thing about NFFC. If you got team kickers, it don't matter.
Well, Jacksonville kicker's good too. I mean, they're a weapon. I mean, I think the Eagles this year, they're talking about Jake Elliott. I don't know if he's going. I don't know if I would bring him back. I mean, he can't kick he doesn't have the leg. I mean, you got to be able to have that to hit the 62-yard field goal, 60-yard field goal. You got to have that leg nowadays.
I hope Joe brings the kicker guru on. I want to listen to him talk.
Off, I know we were supposed to be on a couple of weeks ago, and I had to switch the time on him because I all of a sudden we have 6:30 to 8 p.m. Little League practice, which I think is insane. The fucking kids are 7 years old, 6:30 to 8, and we were doing 6:15 to 7:30. I believe, and I think it was a problem making the other team. There's like 4 teams or 6 teams, but it was two. There's 2. The park that we share the park with another team, so they practiced before, but I guess they had to push their start time back, and I don't know. So now we get 9 p.m. Aces up instead of 8 p.m. Aces up, and it was the week that I had off as scheduled to guest, and I had to pull a fast one on him and be like, hey, I hope you could do it later. And he was like, I really can't. He had some stuff going on with work, and he wanted to make sure he was okay, awake in the morning and whatnot. So, but yeah, we gotta get Hoff back on here. Need some
I like him, man. His YouTube videos and articles. That's hidden fantasy. I know we're sitting top kickers, but that's hidden fantasy points. When we all draft against these great players in these leagues, that could be the part that puts you over the top. Because everybody drafts pretty reasonably. Pretty good.
Defense and kicker. I say it all the time. You want if you can get 25 points out of your defense and kicker combined, that's a successful week.
Yeah,
right there. That's you're scraping up points. So now if your lineup gives you 150, you're up in the 175 range. You know what I'm saying? That's where those are nice weeks. That's what you want.
Yeah.
If your lineup gives you a 130. Now you get 155. Your lineup had a subpar week based on your usual weekly average, and because you have that solid kicker defense, you're streaming if you're streaming kickers, or if you roster two good ones and you're playing matchups, that's you're scraping up points. Same thing with defenses. If you roster 2 or 3 of them. I like to carry 3 into the shootout. I won't necessarily have 3 early on, but I like to carry 3 into the shootout because you can't make any moves once the shootout starts, and it just gives you options. And like Steve made the good points. Kickers and defenses change all year. You could have a defense that has a soft part of the schedule early on, and then it disappears. The schedule gets a little tougher, and the defense, doesn't play as well, and vice versa. You could have a team that start off struggling, and then the schedule got real easy down the stretch. Joey, New Orleans Saints was a great call last year. It was a perfect example of that. They turned out to they turned in 2 double-digit point games in the 3 shootout weeks. So,
JC in the chat, he put down the Texans is the pick for defense if you are taking a top-notch defense. So, I mean,
I like the Browns too. I like the Browns had 4 games with 17 or more fantasy points based on NFFC scoring last year. So,
going back to this draft here, even though we've seen Aubrey here in the 10th, Mike Gamburg here missed out on him, but he really didn't. Because the reason why I'm saying this is stuff we got to look at. Like I said, we'll iron this all out. We got plenty of time, but Aubrey's going to get you there, but he's out in the league championship night. So Mike's sitting there with probably the second best kicker in week 14.
Yeah, I couldn't risk the 10th round. I mean, I didn't have a shot at him. I'm not taking him in. I mean, I took him in I got to look a baby.
That's right.
The 12th round. I might take an Aubrey in the 12th.
So you're looking at this team of the 10. The team with everybody's got to pick one up, but your top-notch kicker is out in the league championship night, week 14. So you're going to pick up a player, and you can't drop him because most leagues you can't pick nobody up after week 14 unless you're just a playoff team that's in the FFPC, I believe. NFFC, you can't pick nobody else up.
No,
that's that's the way they do things. I think they want to separate them. Looks like the NFC they want to have their own thing. They want to have their own niches.
Well, the FFPC overall shootout doesn't start until week 15 anyway. Week 13
playoff weeks. It's like
week 13 or 14 of the league playoffs. So that's why you could still.
And
make
it doesn't go.
But,
it's not. You don't get in their playoffs by being in the top 15%. If you're not.
Yeah, you have to win your way in.
You got to be in first or second, or win if you're third or fourth, win the league playoffs to get that.
And then you got to ask y'all. Then y'all got to ask y'all something else. Like where we play mainly NFFC. Aubrey week 14 bye week, so that's the end of bye week. So you're going to have to drop. And unless you lock him out, do you want to keep him or are you going to have to drop you have to carry 2 kickers in week 15, 16, 17 because you can't pick there's no waivers. I mean,
right.
I'm not saying it's a big deal, but I'm just saying with having team kickers, are you going to lock your kicker out or are you going to just
Well, it definitely alters you because when you finalize your roster for the shootout, you have to make sure you're not cutting yourself short anywhere. And you will, like you said, Joe, you will have to carry 2 kickers because you're either holding Aubrey and picking up a kicker.
So you have to drop a positional player,
Or I guess
another defense.
I guess let me ask you this, Joe. What if you're like 4th overall in scoring? You're in your league. You're outscoring second place by over 200 points, or like we'll say 108. We'll say an amount that you're not going to give up that lead. You already got the wins and losses clinched. Do you take a goose egg at kicker and just to keep?
That's a good point. That's gonna play, and I say that will play.
Oh, you mean to save a roster spot?
So you don't have to drop a bench player to carry a kicker that week.
Oh, you mean
absolutely.
not in the shootouts you're talking about, right?
No, that
Because you can.
Just because week 15 there's no more waivers in NFFC.
Yeah, you got to really go. Yeah, if you want to.
I mean, it's still a play. It's still a playoff match, though. So you kind of don't want to take a zero.
You want to go with two kickers.
I'm forgetting FFPC is head to head. So yeah, you definitely want to start a kicker, and so that.
Let me ask you all this: I've not really played in there in a lot. FFPC. If memory serves me right, say there's 4 teams that's in the playoffs. You're the only team that are allowed to make waiver wire moves, right?
For those 2 weeks. For those 2 weeks,
right? Everybody else they can't.
And then once week 14 is over, everybody's locked
Right.
because you go into the shootout against you're playing against other leagues. So obviously waiver moves you can't because every free agent pool is different. So at that point,
right.
I mean, the only other strategy, just on my team, but which I don't. I look at a lot of these other teams, which I don't agree with. When I take a quarterback like Joe Burrow or Allen or even Drake May this year or in the past Lamar Jackson, I'm not taking a backup. And with those type of quarterbacks, I look at team 8. I mean, I don't mind his, but he takes 3 quarterbacks within the first 3 rounds. You can always start one quarterback. People wait. And I remember somebody in the NFC, a good player. I'm not going to mention his name. I was drafting, and Kyler last year. Kyler, it was a good team. It ended up being in my top team. I had Kyler. I waited on quarterback, took Kyler Murray, and then just didn't take a quarterback. They tried to block. They were taking all kinds of, they probably and they were gonna. I knew they were gonna cut him. I got a quarter. I ended up getting. I ended up. I'll find a quarterback for the bye week. I don't get that at all. The paranoia, people. You
there is
quarterbacks if you're taking, if you're taking 2 guys like that, that are not locks a starter. You want to match up, but I'm not sitting Joe Burrow. I'm just drafting Joe Burrow. He's not sitting. I'll get a bye week.
There's a very, very, very good NFFC player that takes 3 quarterbacks occasionally, not all the time, but occasionally. Joe, I think you know what I'm talking about. I won't mention his name either, but he, we will, if you come to New York, you will be drafted against him. I'll say that much.
My feeling is if you can only start one of them, and we got 20 roster spots.
It's when you wait. It's when you wait. I think it's nice when you wait. Like if you wait until like the 11th, like you could take Jackson Dart and Jared Goff and Tyler Shuck on Jack. Like if you wait,
I take 2 of them.
But again,
I take 2. But a top quarterback, why would you take?
You're punishing yourself having to make that decision every week. So I mean, you really got to have confidence in being able to pick the right quarterback.
I mean, team 8 there. He took 3 quarterbacks, and he only has 3 wide receivers. I mean, that makes. You can't tell me that.
I wouldn't have took 3.
That just doesn't make any. That doesn't make any sense. That's a bit. It's.
Did you see his team name?
Yeah, I mean, he's rigged.
It says shit's rigged. That's his team name.
and your tight end premium, he's only got he's got one he's got one tight end there.
Yeah,
I'd rather you want to have depth at tight end in this format,
Now my baby gorilla, I took Josh Allen, but I did take the other quarterback. But the only reason why I did was because Josh Allen week 7 bye. I got looking at week 7. I had drafted Jalen Waddle. People don't say I like Bo Nix. I took Bo Nix. I said because they're at Arizona. I said that should be a fun game. I said that could be some high scoring points. I said, I personally like to have a second quarterback. I hate to go to the wire and have to go with Malik Willis or something in a national contest if you get out. I understand both concepts. It's just what you feel comfortable with. I mean, it does make it easier. Okay, I'm gonna stick this one quarterback in and play him all the time.
No, I'm saying the top. I'm always saying on the top quarterbacks. One. I'm talking. I said 4 quarterbacks were.
Mike, did you take a backup in this one?
No, I said I did.
Okay.
I didn't take it. I don't take it back. I took in the baby grill. I took Josh Allen, which I know that was Steve still around. I mean, I'm a big Josh Allen fan. Big. I got Jefferson and Mont St. Brown at the 9th slot. I figured I'm going with the hammer, Allen. I mean, I'm not going to I don't need a backup there. I'll need, if he gets on a bye week, I'll find somebody, and you're always going to, guys that stack quarterback, something's always going to happen. Most guys are going to cut guys. I mean, it makes no sense at all. You're giving up a running back or a wide receiver that could turn into a number, whatever. You got a chance.
It's a valid point. I mean, I understand it totally.
We're not playing super flex here. It's two quarterback league. I mean, just don't make. If somebody could explain to me if it makes any sense, especially where they took them. I mean,
no, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mike. If you for the most part, a lot of the time I'll just draft one quarterback, depending on who it is.
What you said, I'll draft basically a golf and maybe somebody that
somebody's gonna the people who draft 3 quarterbacks. If there's more than one person that drafted 3 quarterbacks, like you said, Mike, at some point they're gonna drop one of them because they're gonna need the roster spot.
They did. I found I ended up with, I forget, with when Murray went down, I waited and waited. I said, screw it. I'm not. Guy wants to draft 4 or 5. You're not blocking me. You're not blocking me because I'm going to find somebody when I need it. I mean, I did. I mean, you're like, it's the other guys are going to drop theirs. You're going to drop. You're ending up going to drop yours, the ones you drafted. I mean, so be it. I like those guys, and that's guys you want in your league, really. But just looking like the guy. Like you said, a guy like you take a dart. If you take a dart, a golf, that's a good pick. You got somebody with a nice, fall back on. If dart's not spectacular, it's like Daniels that first year. I mean, if I took Daniels,
Brock Purdy's not bad either.
I took somebody with stability. That's not good. That basically, I'll take. You got to take upside, but a lot of times upside. But with the top quarterback, it's that guy right there. I would have waited, and I think Prescott's my starter.
You got a question in the
Tyler,
chat.
I mean, what's he going to do every week? He's ended up. He's going to carry 3 quarterbacks all year.
Tip Major. He says, thoughts on Tyler Shuck, Tua, and Kyler Murray in 2026.
Joe, you take it, Joey.
I love Tyler Shuck.
I'm a Shuck guy.
I agree.
His ADP really doesn't make any sense based on the fact that he's got Chris Olave as his number 1 target. They went out and they drafted why am I drawing a blank right now?
Jordan Tyson.
Guys, help me up. Jordan I was gonna say Jordan Mason, but it's not Jordan Mason. Jordan Tyson. They went out and signed Travis Etienne. They still have Alvin Kamara. You got Kellen Moore calling the offensive plays.
That's what I'm saying. Kellen Moore is
the pace of play, he's always top 5 in the league and plays called. He's a very good offensive coordinator, in my opinion. I agree. Tyler Shuck showed great improvement as the season went on last year. Joe, like you said, this is a defense that's improved as well. So this could, make things a lot easier for the offense to run smoother. Them control the pace of play. I'm in on Shuck. Tua, I don't know. I've always been out on Tua, so I'll be biased and I'll just say I'm probably not anywhere near targeting him.
And we don't even know if he's going to get the job. I mean, they keep saying Penix is ahead of schedule. He's been through this before.
I mean, he doesn't really run. I mean, I agree.
I mean, I don't think.
Could you stream him maybe a week? Possibly, maybe. You see how you play, but no, I'm not.
I put Tua in Superflex.
I think
that's
Tua,
different. Superflex
I think Bijan's ceiling could be higher with Tua at quarterback than Penix.
Dump off.
Yeah, I agree, Joe.
That I will say about Tua. And I don't think that there's much of a difference between for Drake London and Kyle Pitts. I think that they'll pretty much be that offense is pretty condensed. But that's my thoughts on Tua. I think Bijan has a higher ceiling with Tua at quarterback for sure. Not that his ceiling isn't already high, and he's a top 2-3 pick. Depends on your preference on how you want to start your build. But and Kyler Murray, I think he's set up to have fantasy success. Obviously, he's got Justin Jefferson. His offense is good. They are currently, mentioned it earlier in the show. I think that they are the bottom tier of that division. I do think that they will be playing from behind a lot of games. So I think passing attempts will be there. We know he's mobile. He gives you a spike week sailing with his legs. They don't really have a great running game, I guess. So I could see Kyler absolutely being a factor in the run game.
Yeah, that's a good upside pick.
I kind of like Kyler Murray. I think if you draft him, you want to have a fallback quarterback like a Brock Purdy or a Jared Goff or a Matthew Stafford, somebody that you can plug in the event that JJ McCarthy.
Guys, I'm going to just check on the dog.
Happens to emerge out of nowhere, or Kyler happens to miss time with an injury. So I just drafted accordingly. You drafted him for upside. His ADP is great. Is basically a free square. After where is he going? It's definitely after round 10, right? Kyler Murray.
He went 13 here, but there's a case why.
Hold on just a sec, guys. I'll be right back.
Why take Mahomes there? I like the Murray pick. I don't like the Mahomes pick. You take Murray and take somebody. You could take somebody else. You can only play one quarterback there. I don't. That's where in that case.
Well, Ted, so I tell you, he should be formidable in Superflex.
Yeah, absolutely. He's right there. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a whole different animal. Superflex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Superflex is almost that. If it depends.
It's an animal. I don't know. I never played a Superflex.
I'm a one. I like to go one quarterback in Superflex and really stack up the rest of my build. Take advantage of the guys that fall because people are going quarterback heavy. But again, if I'm in a spot in the draft where it's clear cut, I have to take the quarterbacks because they're the best value on the board, then I will end up with two quarterbacks. But I like to tackle Superflex leagues with one good quarterback. Make sure I hit on it. If you don't hit on it, then obviously you're toast because then something happens to that. But that's usually how I like to do Superflex for the most part. I'll wait on quarterback and take the one that I really like. Maybe take a shot on some guys that can emerge that have upside, like a Kyler Murray later on. But
I hope I don't start a trend that now people don't take second quarter. I mean, I just think it's like I said, you're playing what you can only play one guy. Even the guy here, 11, taking Stafford and Herbert. You know, you got to. I don't want to play. I don't want to play. You know, who do I pick this? You know, football. I mean, each week, right there.
Well. Also, Mike, it allows you to use a draft pick on a dot throw with on an upside dot throw because you're not taking a second quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah. You take it later. Then you take it 11th and 13th, taking two guys. You know, you're going to try to play matchup. You're going to guess wrong, and you're going to aggravate yourself. I hate that. I mean, I hate to have. It's sometimes we all do it as fans. But we got to make those decisions. With the wide receivers and the running backs. Do I want to make it with the quarterback? I got to. It's. We always kickers. We're always going to, make the wrong choice, not the wrong. It's just going to fall that way. That's the way it is. You got this guy in the flex. I got, I started the wrong. One guy went off for 35 points, and I get a guy sitting for 5 points. Went up between two guys. So, I don't want to do that with the quarterback when I got to do it with the rest. When I got to do it with the tight receivers and running back sometimes. Shout
out to Tip Major, man.
Yeah, man.
Love him. He's good. Yeah, he does. He's on Thursday check down with Greg Kellogg. He's part of the Sports Affiliation. He also writes for Football Guys.
I think I've seen him on this. Yeah,
he's sharp, man. He's good at I like how he evaluates team situations. That's something that I take pride in. I feel like that's one of my strengths. And when I have conversations with Tip, it's usually about a team situation, and we want each other's opinions on it. So and he is a Raiders fan. So if you have any Raiders questions, you can throw them in the chat. He might answer them for you. He's but
what's he think of the wide? How's he think of? What does he think of the wide receivers?
Jalen Naylor, baby.
Now besides Naylor, I seen some guys. I seen some guys that I respect in terms of they like Thornton a little bit higher than I would have seen him. What's he think of Thornton? Just to give me an idea if he's still there.
Dante Thornton. I liked him last year. I thought he didn't. I don't know. He didn't have.
Does he have?
So inconsistent. I like his profile is nice, man. He's got the size and the speed. I don't know. We'll see if quarterback with better quarterback play. Somebody's got to emerge there. I mean, you can't sleep on Jack Besh either.
I've taken a lot of Thornton and a lot of Besh in the late in the DK best balls. Just start
PPR. He could be a PPR cheat code if he gets the right opportunity.
It'll be interesting to see how they how whatchamacallit comes. How he
a lot of touches for Ashton Genty.
That's for sure.
Like Tip talked about, he likes going after Tyler Shuck, and I agree with him because you look at week 15 at Tampa, week 16 home against the Cardinals, week 17 at the Falcons. So they got a real nice playoff schedule.
Yeah, that's nice.
They're all healthy.
That's a good
all good points, Joe. I know you and I were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, that's important. You like to mix that in, which is good.
Well, it helps for tiebreakers because if you're waiting on quarterback and you keep getting sniped, and now you're still waiting on quarterback. You're looking at Tyler Shuck and guys in that range, and you see Shuck's 3 weeks there.
That's the reason to take him. You're right. Yeah. Because of type, but I'm not a guy that looks well. If you put too much premise on the schedule, you got to make get to what's more important. You got to get to the playoffs. That's so tough to predict. Weeks fit. I mean, it could change, but that's a good point. If you're a tiebreaker, Joe, that's a good point.
But no, you got 2 wide receivers. You got two wide receivers on your offense and three players from your offense going in the top 6 rounds. But the quarterback's ADP is that far down that it doesn't make any sense. And that's why Shuck sticks out as such a value to me this year. That offense is going to be high flying. I think that I would say that they probably win that division. We got Tip. Tip gave us an answer. Bowers will be an animal this year. Genty could finish top 5, touching the rock 15 to 18 times per game. That's it. I say the same thing. They're going to lean on those 2 guys.
What's he think of the wide receivers, the Thornton, Becci, and
probably not
Tucker,
fantasy.
Right?
I'm guessing not fantasy relevant unless best ball.
Right. What's he think of the wide receivers in terms of fan?
You got to give them a minute. A lot. Sometimes, depending on what they're listed on, it could be delayed like a few seconds. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not instant.
I think I agree with him. Yeah.
I gotta give Joe a shout out here too. And like I said, one game is definitely on my schedule that I want to watch. I seen on Twitter, on X, whatever we want to call it, a dark horse overall #1 quarterback. And Joe answers Justin Herbert. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, well, yeah, that post, yeah. I think the Chargers offense could be something really special this year.
They're going to win some people. They're going to put people in prime position if you got the Chargers. Week 16 at Miami.
Joe, you're sharing the secrets, Joe. What the heck?
I know it. You can't hide that offense anyway. When people's going to take apart pieces of it.
They're going to look.
Yeah, another juicy playoff.
We get to July and August. I mean, guys are going to. They're going to know that.
Yeah, they're going to know it all.
It's not like these guys are, hidden gems. They're drafted, like you said, Joe. They're drafted in the first 4. Those guys drafted in the first 4 rounds.
Some of these guys have been drafted since the Super Bowl. I don't never do that, but after the Super Bowl, they start drafting. But
are you thinking you would be starting Shuck before the playoffs, or are you willing to sit the guy that got you to the playoffs to start Shuck?
Depends who the guy is, right?
That's a good question.
That good? Is that guy
that's a good question.
Josh Allen? Is that Josh Allen?
I'll just go. I'll tell this story. I'll play to win. I mean, we all do. But what I'm getting at, 2020 prime time, I had Russell Wilson. He was good that year.
I know.
I remember that. I had Kirk Cousins. Now, granted, I probably wouldn't have done this Thursday night, Minnesota at New Orleans, and the Superdome at what's their place called? Not Superdome. New Orleans place, whatever it was.
I thought
the crowd was not in it. But they didn't have a packed crowd because of COVID. So I set Russell Wilson. He had the Rams that week. I said, okay, I'm going to play Kirk Cousins on the road, Thursday night game, shootout, week 17. So it catapulted me up to 7th overall. If I have to set somebody for Shuck, I'll set them. I mean, Shuck is going to be a tough one to. I think if you take a media, it's like a. Let me look here. It just depends on what quarterback you take. I mean, if you take Tyler Shuck, you may play him a lot of games, just based on. But Josh brings up a very good point. I mean, would you?
You could be stuck in that situation. Here's what I say: to avoid that situation, if you believe in Tyler Shuck, you wait on quarterback, you lean into that build, and you take Shuck as your QB1 and you play him from day one on.
Right.
And maybe you grab a maybe like a Brock Purdy or I don't know, somebody who's going after that. Was it CJ Stroud? Somebody
Right.
to
Right.
just
Yeah.
to
Jordan
just
Love,
run.
Depends if you sit and look.
Somebody, Kyler Murray, like tip.
Right.
He's targeting two great quarterbacks right there. If you make sure you grab the second one, just to
Oh, by the way, the guy
he
who
would be perfect with
quarterbacks in this draft, he took a fourth one in Jordan Love. No, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to. I mean, now it's.
they're guaranteed to drop one of them. There's no way that they.
I mean, you're dropping two of them.
Yeah.
You can't carry four quarterbacks in a. I mean, yeah, so be it. That was Jordan Love. Joey mentioned. I think you could see the new offensive coordinator, right? They might, with you could see him. Hopefully, Love opens it up, and then you got, it's
the problem is LaFleur likes to run the ball 1,000,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
How's he been doing lately? Not that.
I know.
He's these guys bang their head against the wall. I mean, they're so stubborn. You got, it'd be one thing if you were making the league, if you were, going to the NFC Championship game every 2 to 3.
They rely on that defense and try to grind the game down a little bit and rely on their defense to make plays and time of possession. That's like Mike LaFleur's. What the hell's his name? Matt LaFleur's MO.
Yeah, so I like what Josh was saying, and he's right. I mean,
I like Chuck. I would draft Chuck as a starter. Yeah, not after Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. I'm gonna put Chuck, and it's he's right. It's not a bad.
It does make you different. Now, the only way it doesn't make you different is if you really hit on that pick and he actually finishes as a top 10 quarterback and people are starting him.
And I'll tell you another thing.
He's got to stay in the QB2 range.
I'll tell you another thing too. Yeah, I know this sounds crazy to people, but it happens all the time in fantasy. You just don't realize it. It's just like he's talking about, like starting Shuck in the shootouts. If you're there, okay, there's going to be Tyler Shuck teams with Olave. There's going to be some with Jordan Tyson. Maybe Tyson is the guy who gets hot in the shootout. Olave draws all the coverage unless he can open it up. I mean, there's so many different scenarios.
Yeah, you want to leverage that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just like Caleb Williams is a perfect example. There are going to be some Caleb and Loveland. There are going to be Caleb and Burden. There are going to be Caleb and Ondunze. You got 3 different opportunities with that one quarterback with 3 offensive pieces. This is good conversations to have, because when you sit and look at them, where can you – Tyler Shuck is that guy that can catapult you if you're brave enough to play him, and based on how he plays, he could be – I don't know. He could be he could struggle, and then you just have to take a shot on him, or he could come out, that's no different than when we're sitting here talking about how he played down the stretch. If anybody goes back and look at the points that Brock Purdy got at the end of the season. I mean, his playoff numbers, he scored I can't remember what it was. It was some crazy.
JC makes a good point here too about Jalen Naylor having history with Kirk Cousins.
Josh, that was the best comment of the night.
Josh's, yeah, only the truth.
We're talking Phillies, 50-7. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're the junkies here. We got the needles in our arms. Can't just. We're not showing it, but we got them
on May 26th. That's right. That's right, baby. Hey. This is why I get these two guys on here. We have a little conversation about football. What was the show script tonight, guys? There was none, right? I didn't wing it, baby. Wing it. We'll show a draft board. We'll talk about some shit. And it ended up being a pretty good show. We got into a lot of good topics. We had some good engagement.
We're just getting started too, guys.
Good engagement from the chat. We had great questions, that led us to good conversations. So yeah, it's been a good 90 minutes, 100 minutes actually now, 100 minutes.
And have to give Gamburg his props. He's actually a good team. It's a good team.
Steve, the Fantasy Sopranos, he's usually on. Because I think he drafted a nice team. Team one.
Yeah, he's in the fantasy. He's everywhere in fantasy. You'll see Sopranos everywhere. He's a good drafter.
He was in my baby grill too. The guy you can't miss. You can't miss him. NFC. He's in the NFC. The FFPC. He enjoys himself. God bless.
He never stops.
Hey, look. You know what? You can never get too much. If you can do it, good for you.
Now I have to say for myself, this is the earliest I've really started draft. Like I said, I've done some FFPC a little bit, but I'm done there. I won't do no more. But I just think it's. I think it's what's got me because I've stuck with my routine, and I think the way fantasy is brought out to the public nowadays, you have to start about where we're at right now. I mean, you can't wait till. Stuff's going to change. The boards are going to change. The ADPs are going to change. Injuries going to happen. It's just how you go about. When people zig, you zag, or you zag, they zig. Just what you feel comfortable doing at the draft table.
I balance it between.
What you feel comfortable with.
I like doing in July. I'll do maybe half my OCs and then half them in August. I understand, obviously, injuries can whatever, but you can also, I think, Joe, you made a point when you did the NFC. You can take advantage, hopefully, of some values that you're not going to get maybe
if you look at a few draft boards and you study the ADP and you look at the ranges some of the guys are going, and then you know that you can use KDS and you can try to get the picks you want. You can try to get the picks you want. Third round reversal throws a little wrench into the ADP as well. It flips the board for a round, and then everything gets jumbled up from that point on. People are grabbing their guys. But if you notice an edge, man, it's time to draft. If you put together 8 or 9 rounds, you put together some builds, realistic builds, and you like what you see, then there's certain guys that are going to cost more, like Brock Bowers going at the back end of round 2, or even Mike Zander got him in round 3, the beginning of round 3 from the 12th spot, third round reversal. That's such a huge edge.
It is.
Come August, July, August, once the rest of the draft field enters, Brock Bowers ain't going to be sniffing anywhere near the third round. And I have already noticed it the last few draft boards that I've seen. Brock Bowers is creeping closer to
He
the
went
middle.
second round in that night out.
He's creeping closer to the beginning
Right.
of the second. Yeah, closer to the beginning of the second round. DJ Moore in round 5. Once they get some film, some preseason film with Josh Allen and him hooking up, just getting a look at the Buffalo offense, and he starts flashing a little bit. He's going to move up. You get good reports out of Buffalo. DJ Moore's motivated. If things are looking good there, DJ Moore's going to move up into the 4th round, possibly even the 3rd round. AJ Brown, another one. He's, some drafts he's fallen to the 4th round, back end of the round 3, back end of round 4. Once he's confirmed the Patriot or confirmed a location that's not the Philadelphia Eagles, which I mean, it's pretty much already confirmed. But if he actually, I think we could see him move up some.
Well, it affects it affects AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Both of them's gonna move up. Well,
right.
Devontae Smith's gonna move up around probably.
Now, we had Rashee Rice start to slip a little bit. That means it means a couple of guys are moving up.
Malik Neighbors right now too is dropping.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors is another. Then you got guys that you were avoiding at ADP that might be affordable now. That because when you play in these contests with 3,000-4,000 entries in drafts running from the end of April all the way to kickoff on Sunday, the first Sunday of the season. If you have a Brock Bowers roster, but you took Brock Bowers at the 1-2 turn, the team that has Brock Bowers in round 3 has 2 elite players plus Brock Bowers.
I mean, like tonight,
it's just you want to roster these guys at their cheapest ADP.
Yeah, the team they just did the OC tonight by the football. I guess the football guys. Bowers went the 2nd round with the guy with the 7th pick in the draft. He went up and then 5th pick. The guy took McBride in the 2nd. Took him behind Bowers.
Yeah, so they've been going back.
We're seeing that right now.
Did they post the first 6 rounds?
They posted the whole draft. I'm looking at it now.
Really?
They got the guys on the if you go to NFC, they have it. They have the
Discord.
They have the you go to the NFC on the Twitter, you'll see he's posted.
Okay.
He
The
posted,
real NFC. Yeah. Nice.
You saw Jamar Chase went 2nd. Or 1st, I don't know. I can't see the but he didn't get. But Gibbs went 3rd, so
yeah, the front end is weird this year. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, it's nice to grab Gibbs or Bijan, but I don't know that I have to see how it looks a little bit closer to August. It usually starts out with the back end having a little bit of an edge, and then things change come August.
Yeah. I think once everybody on this, all 3 of us, and Josh and Dan Josh is in the chat.
Jacobs went 3rd pick, 3rd round, team 4.
So nothing changed there. Yeah.
Nothing changed. So I don't think you might not see it change. Maybe we'll see as we get. This is just one. We'll see as
the news is fresh. The news is real fresh. So.
I mean, the guy obviously knew that. I don't know. I can't see the guys. Oh, our boys in there.
Joe, what were you going to say?
Fancy Sopranos.
When you see the way we're doing drafts right now, you kind of want to mix up the KDS right now. Don't settle on one spot. You want to try to draft from the first 3 or 4 spots, 6, 7, 8, and then 10, 11, 12. And you want to take it. To me, round 4 is really where NFLC drafts start, because the way you build your first 2 picks and that 3rd round reversal, it really dictates where you're going with that roster, in my opinion, from drafting in NFLC all time. And all of you all, I may be wrong, but the 3rd round reversal really dictates what build you're going to build. I personally believe that. I mean, you could go running back, wide receiver, first 2 picks, and then, okay, am I going to go running back in the 3rd, or am I going to go wide receiver? Am I going, if you get a good running back, which you can, I like what I'm seeing from the back end of that draft right now with the running backs, the Genties, the Chase Browns, the Hamptons. I mean, you could get that stud wide receiver and that running back, and then you could wait on that RB2. That's what I usually like to do, because I always told everybody, I said, if you can get an RB1 that can give you 1.5 points of a player and a half. That's what I meant. Player and a half.
An RB1. Yeah.
You don't need much of that RB2. That's just, when you get that one good back, and then, finish it up with wide receivers, there's so many strategies,
You can mix in a premium quarterback or a premium tight end,
right?
When you wait on your RB2,
yeah. Like 2012, I'll go back to that one. I had first team I really ever done any good. It was football guys, but it was FFPC. I finished sixth or 7th overall. It was like $7,000 win on one team. All I had. My RB, I had the 12th pick. Never will forget it. I went for 2 Bears. I had Matt Forte, and I wanted Brandon Marshall. I said Cutler's back with Marshall and all of them, and but Forte was solid, and Marshall was really good. Then I went wide receiver heavy, but I took CJ Spiller that 8th or 9th round, and he hit. And that's just like, this 1.5. The news was out at that time. Jason Witten had a neck injury. I said, he's going to fall. I said, 1.5, I'm going to take him. So he fell like 6th round, and he put like a 55 points up, and he put up some ungodly number that year. But I waited on wide receiver. I pounded wide receiver and grabbed the tight end. And I had actually took Peyton Manning that year too. Everybody was worried about his neck. Witt was hurt and Manning was hurt. So I took both of them late. But I hit on CJ Spiller that year. He was huge in 2012. But you can wait on RB2 if you can get that RB1 right.
And then Joe, you're good at getting the RB2 right too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like to.
A couple of years ago, it was Rashad White, right? Remember? It was 2-3 seasons ago. You had Rashad White on that prime time team.
Yeah, he was good.
That's how I found FTN with Nelson Sousa. I mean, I watched this guy that year. I'm seeing him every draft. Rashad White, 8th round, 9th.
Oh yeah, I mean he's just.
Chase Brown. You nailed Chase Brown too.
Yeah,
the first year.
Nailed Chase Brown, and then last year Devontae Williams was big as a really a value.
I guess if I'm looking at RB2 right now, and like I said, I'll just throw this out there. I don't care who knows it, and I'm not saying he's going to be great, but based on your build, I was telling you, like I said, I like the offense a little bit better. I like Pollard where he goes. I mean, if you're going to go wide receiver heavy, I mean, Tajay Spears has not done nothing. He's never done nothing. I mean, Singleton's probably going to be your backup from Penn State that went there. Brian Dable, better Cam Ward, Carnell Tate. But that's just like I said, that's just talking wide receiver heavy, if you're gonna go that way. But there's so many ways to skin a cat to win fantasy football, so to speak. That's just like I like hearing your all. Okay, how did you all win?
You make a good point there. I mean, actually, Pollard he did hit 1,000 rushing yards last year.
Pollard is the most boring, unsexy pick there is.
I didn't even realize he hit 1,000 yards.
He gets it done. I held him all year. I had him on one dynasty team, and I held him all year. I had a couple of offers, third round picks for him, and I was just like, nope, I'm holding on to him. I don't think I didn't think that. I wasn't scared of Jeremiah Love going there. I don't know why. I just wasn't. I didn't see Arizona coming out of the woodwork and taking him either. But I had thought Love would fall a little further than he did, I guess. And Tennessee just usually doesn't.
I mean, he played 17 games.
They take linemen and shit like that. Although they did take Carnell Tate.
And I'll tell you another player that fits that bill too is the one Mike took and the one that you like. Tyrone Tracy fits a good wide receiver heavy team. I mean, you don't need a lot out of him. If you get 8, 12 points, maybe a week, and you got. Let me ask y'all this. So here's something y'all. I just now thought of it. And I'm not saying this. I don't want people here in this comment think, okay, he just compared him. I'm just talking John Harbaugh. Is he going to use Scatterbo like the Derrick Henry role? Not that he's Derrick Henry. And okay, is he going to use Tyrone Tracy as a Justice Hill? That's what I hope he does. I hope he uses him as the Justice Hill role in the passing game. I just hope he's more consistent because Justice Hill was at times he was fantasy relevant, in the PPR leagues. Tyrone Tracy could be that guy or better. He's actually better.
He can run, yeah. He can.
You're right about looking at Pollard, Joe. You're right. I mean, I didn't even realize. I mean, Pollard, he averaged 4.5 yards a carry. That was better in his prior 2 years. And both those years he hit over 1,000. And he caught, the one thing is he caught, probably, only 33 balls last year, 17 games, and he was, 41 and 55 the years before. If he, you're right. He's
Brian Dable, I think
I didn't even realize that. That's pretty good. 4 point, I didn't realize he played 17 games.
15 to 20 touches, and he's part of an ascending offense that could be playing from behind a lot.
Singleton might have a role later, if they, but you're right. Early on, you're right. Spears is,
he's just a guy. He's a jag. He's just a guy.
Yeah, he's not going to get to the first. They're going to.
Everybody's kind of the Spears stuff.
You're right. He's coming in there as a coordinator. He's got to make a good. He wants to make a good first impression. He's not going with Spears. He's going to go with a veteran. The guy's got the stats behind the pedigree, that deserves it. You're right.
I mean, he put Josh Allen on the map. I mean, I'm a Josh Allen fan, but now he put him on the map. I mean, he made him what he really is today. I mean, but I like Pollard where he goes. We need to look it up on the NFFC. I don't know where he really got. I think he's ranked 94th. But I don't know where his ADP is.
7th round in this strip. But what more important? Where did he go in the NFC? That's a good. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, let's say you go with. Let's say you go with a Chase Brown in the 2nd round, and you could get Pollard in the 7th or 6th, 7th, 8th round. That'd be a good RB2 with Chase Brown.
And I would go with later. You just maybe back at for the end of the year. You just have you draft late. I don't know where does Singleton go. Where's he been going?
Tony Pollard's ADP is at 90. He's going as the RB 32.
I like it.
I like it.
The earliest he's gone is 79, and the latest he's fallen is 118. So he's got a pretty big range. So he's going in about the 7-8 turn early and dropping into the 8th round when he drops, even to the back end of the 8th round and sometimes into the early 9th. That's crazy.
And then when we're all sitting here looking at this and talking, okay, like we mentioned earlier in the show, Pollard might be that guy you want because Gainwell's going to steam up. You know, I don't know how close they was together. Gainwell's probably going a couple rounds earlier, but like I said, that's just.
No, they're going in the same spot. So Pollard, Dowdle, Gainwell, Monungai, Stevenson, Jalen Warren, RJ Harvey, Blake Corum, all those guys are going in the same range.
And you know, Jalen Warren is really something that a man needs to think about because the way Aaron Rodgers likes to check down too, he caught 40 balls last year. 73 for Gainwell. So that's what, 113 balls from your running back spot?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Warren is probably going to be okay in the Jalen Warren role.
And he might get up to 60 catches this year, you know.
He might have enough.
Guys, I got a roll here. I got to get to take care of the dog.
Yeah, Joe probably got to get up early.
You guys closed it.
No, I don't have to get up early, but we are at the 2-hour mark. If you guys want to call it,
guys, I'll listen to it while I walk the.
I think we'll just call it a show, man. This was good.
Great show, Joey. Joey gave that advice for free. That Pollard call was good. If you look into it, that's
the whole show is free, Mike.
Yeah, but that advice was real. That's free. That was big, baby.
Well, you know, we're out here, you know.
That's real cha-ching, baby.
Like I said, Pollard may not be for everybody, you know. It's just
I back him up with single. I mean,
how do you feel like building a roster? You know, it's just like I tell everybody, fantasy football is like a well, I look forward to having Josh and Dan on here with us too, and Steve. You know, I always tell everybody, fantasy football is like a menu. Not everybody's going to eat the same thing or draft the same thing. I mean, it's just like, okay, Gamburg likes this, Joe likes this, I like this. You mesh it, you talk it out like we've been doing, you know. Are we all going to be right? No. Is anybody out there in Sirius XM right all the time? No. You're going to miss stuff. You go into these seasons thinking, okay, this player's going to hit, this one's going to hit. I believe in this. It may work, it may not. But that's the beauty of the game we play. That's you know, the preparation. I've never started this early, and I'm happy that I have. I mean, I'm more hungry now than I ever been. You know, I want to do good. We all want to do good. I mean, I don't play for the money. I don't care about the money. I want to win. That's just how I've always been. I want to do good. I want to win. You know.
All right, guys.
I doesn't have the name that I want a league championship than I would.
You guys close it out. I will talk to you later.
All right. Have a good night, man. Joe.
But it's been fun.
Keep going, man. You on a roll there.
Well, like I said, we just. You know, if there's still people out there listening, I probably need to give Josh money anyway on all the props we missed, so that's probably a done deal. All the props we missed, you know.
Oh, the parlay, yeah, they were like 10-leg parlays, of course.
Yeah, he paid for them all the time. So
if all we need to do is hit one, though, all we need to do is hit one.
We'll break even then, right?
Nah, we'll probably make some money.
But you know, fantasy is such a it's such a great thing. You make so many friends all across this. I mean, all over the world, really. Different parts of the world, and it becomes a tight knit circle, so to speak. And like I said, I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. I don't. Me and you was talking about it. I went a different route on that fifth round pick, and I made one while ago. I took Chuba Hubbard in the sixth.
Did you pick yet? Are you on the clock?
I just took it while we was on the clock. I took Chuba Hubbard. I like him.
You were on the clock and you didn't talk us through the pick?
Well, we was just sitting there talking. I said, well, I didn't want to hold them guys up. I held them up earlier. So, but I never drafted this early. If I hadn't seen your draft, I would never draft. But I said, okay, I'll do a slow draft because I'm still kind of the middle rounds is what you really need to learn. But this first 3 or 4 rounds, everybody knows about what they want. But from 6 on to 10 or 12, that's really where the draft is. The league is won. Which I tell everybody, it's like a 3 or 4 process. This is process 1. Your roster changes over a whole year. You may have half of the players that you drafted. I mean, it's a full blown process, to put these rosters together and manage them and work the wire. Which I think we all done good on working the wire last year. I think we gave a lot of good information out. I think we're getting better as a group. But like I said, it's going to be a fun year, good year. I just hope everybody can stay injury free for a while.
Yeah, there was a ton of injuries last year, that's for sure.
But that's going to happen, You just have to make the best of it.
That's it.
That's
our Kentucky Fried Joey rant for the night.
Yeah, like I said, we're just getting started. Like I said, we all get together and start looking at. We need to start talking ADP, like movements. Who do we like, or go by? We need to start breaking it down. Like, hey, you pull up the ADP, like, okay, 1 through 12. Like, okay, who would you feel, who would you want to build your roster with? And who you want to take, 13 through 24, so forth. Just to look at them, what player in that round that you really like, to start getting a feel for it. And like I said, stuff's going to change. Like we talked about earlier, I don't really see a major thing with Josh Jacobs just based on prior stuff that we've watched. I don't think that I don't think he'll be suspended this year. Right. Unless the team does something. Green Bay's kind of be interested to see our bunch that we play with. I like to hear what Greg Ambrosius, Tom Kestic, the Green Bay guys.
Because Iggy too. If Iggy popped in the chat, I would have.
See Green Bay guy too.
Yeah, I would have asked him. Because that's it. They do hold that franchises usually held their players to higher standards. Yeah.
They could do an in-house suspension. Like, okay, we're going to suspend you 2 games.
Well, they could do their own investigation too. Like, eventually the NFL will probably do an investigation as well. So, until we get more information on the situation and there's actual evidence, then you're right, Joe. It's probably not going to happen this year.
And if you think something's going to happen, I suggest you best ball leagues with 30 or plus rounds. Take a shot on Marshawn Lloyd just for the heck of it. Just draft the second, third string backs. Just take them. Their roster spots, so use it.
Yeah, I agree, Josh. And things will change if there's actual evidence that
Josh is right.
Yeah. It's possible. I agree, especially 5 different charges and how serious of charges they are. We went over that what Drew Davenport posted earlier in the show, and he thinks they're pretty heavy, serious charges, not to be taken lightly.
And I will say this, I will backtrack, not totally backtrack what I said, but Josh Jacobs may be the first player we've seen that had that many allegations against him when it first starts. I mean, usually like 1 or 2 or something, speeding or reckless driving or DUI, or, usually just hear of one.
Yeah, it's a big domestic thing. So,
5 charges, that is a pretty good lot. It might be a different animal for the NFL to deal with. It may be worth watching.
Josh brings up the Judkins situation that everybody overreacted to last year. It's a good call. I was enjoying that 11th round discount myself last year when he started falling. There were guys, I won't mention names, but there were people on Sirius XM that were saying to completely avoid Quinshon Judkins during all of that, and I love them for that because he started falling, and I got him in a ton of drafts.
Just like what you're saying, we all kind of been around the block. How many times you see preseason touchdown? Okay, the guy shoots up the draft boards. I mean, it's going to happen. That's just like
Kyle Pitts, remember? Preseason, his second or third year, he went off in the preseason, and then he steamed up to the second round. That was great. I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff's going to happen. I mean, news is going to take place. I mean, these guys, they get involved with these women that want money, and these guys may not all be innocent, but they get hooked up to these wrong people. This stuff's going to happen. I mean, some of it's probably fake, some of it's probably for money, and on the other hand, some of these guys probably do what they actually accuse them of doing, and they get out of it. It's just the nature of the beast of the money these guys has behind them, backing them, but. That's pretty. Like I said, we'll have to see more of that. We'll have to keep up with Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. They'll beat each other to the punch. But we'll have to keep up with Drew Davenport, like you was talking about too.
Yeah, Drew gives great updates on all the legal situations. He's usually the first thing I search when I see news like this. So,
I mean, you could actually see next year, like. If this goes down, I mean, could he be like Rashid Rice, first 6 or 7 games? Possibly. But like I said, we'll have to let it play out. But
yeah, we need more.
When's everybody going to come back on and talk football again? It's fun.
We might do we've been trying to get a show together going on Steve's channel. On Wednesday nights. Oh, tomorrow night. If you guys do roll tomorrow night, I'm in the auction. I signed up for the 9 p.m. auction, first auction of the year. It's being live streamed.
NFSC?
Yeah. Billy Wasowski's in it. Will Miles is in it. Let me see. I can let you guys know.
Oh, that'd be fun. I have to watch that.
It's the one of the 150 buy-ins. The same one I did last year. The top 4 make the playoffs. Top 2 make the overall championship round. I think it's $15K for first. I think it's $700 if you win your league.
You done good in that last year, didn't you?
I did my first one last year, and I won the league. Yeah.
That's good, man.
I finished. Good. I think I finished. I don't remember what I finished overall. I didn't cash, but I did finish nearly cashing.
I tell anybody, man, I don't care if you play an NFLC and you win an NFLC 25. It's just as important to me as to win that league than it is any of them. I mean, anytime I can win an NFSC, I feel good. Last year, the only thing I did was, like I said, I didn't have a good year. But I did win one of the Gladiator leagues. Did do pretty good in it, but
somebody's live streaming it. I don't know if it's Greg and Jeff or if it's somebody else that's in the draft. I'm not live streaming it. I don't think I could live stream an auction. Too much to pay.
I'm going to try that.
There's way too much to pay attention to. It's fucking tough, man. I know Steve D'Angelo's done some. I know I watched a couple of Nelson Sousa live streams where he's done auctions just to see how they work, get a good feel of how they work.
The only two formats I have not played in is an auction and a guillotine. I've not tried the guillotine leagues.
And listen, man, auction's got a lot of polka characteristics to it, so I really, really enjoyed it. It's 3 hours long. You get a 10-minute break halfway through. They give you a 10-minute break. So that they go on for a while. There's a lot to pay attention to. There's a lot of strategy involved.
See, I would like that because I would pay nothing for running backs and pay up for wide receivers and tight ends and.
Dude, it's awesome because you can put together builds that you can't usually. That you might not be able to get in a draft. Like I think last year, my two big spendings were Bijan and Trey McBride. That's where I dumped most of my money on.
Now, when you talk these leagues, now I'm just I don't know, people out there probably knows that I don't, but like when you put together your team, do you all still have the $1,000 fab budget?
Yes. Yeah, that's completely separate. Yeah, that's completely separate.
I mean, but you still can pick up people on auction time.
No, it's the same as the regular. It's the same as the OCs.
Right. So I'm saying you can still pick up people like after you build your auction team.
Yes.
With the money, there's still a waiver wire.
Yeah, the waiver, the way you get $200 to spend in the auction. And then the fab is completely separate. That's the same as the regular 1,000. You get 1,000 for the season.
I'm gonna have to join one of them just for the heck of it.
Yeah, Joe, you'll have a blast, man. You'll have a blast.
We'll have to try.
I gotta find out where it's being live streamed. I'll send you the link because I'll probably have it on during as well just to listen to it. But yeah, auction tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Looking forward to it.
If you find out, let me know. I'll sit and watch it.
Yeah, I'll send you a link once I figure it out. They put it's in the lobby. It says it in the lobby.
Okay.
Actually, although it did fill up, so maybe it's not in the lobby anymore. I'll have to look. I'll figure it. It very well could be Greg and Jeff. I have to look into it. I just know that they are live streaming it. It sold. They posted it last week. It sold out last week. Been waiting all week for this. So, but yeah, Joe, we're gonna close it out, man. We've been 20 minutes bullshitting extra.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Tonight Show.
Nice.
I like watching it every now and then. I think it's reruns this week, but I probably missed some of them. I can't stay up all the time, but I've got to get myself prepared again for Monday Night Football, or stay up late and watch it. But yeah, I've never drafted. I was going to tell you my first 6 picks. I went against what you talked about.
You want to go over that? You want to?
I'll just run them down real quick.
So Joey's in the middle of a slow draft. Football guys OC.
Yeah.
I like his build so far.
I went different on what me and you talked about because I don't want to show everybody everything right now. I'm gonna save that for August. The player that me and you talked about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I said I'm gonna try it. First round pick 6. I went JSN.
He fell to you, actually.
He fell to me at
Who got pulled up?
Amon-Ra went 5.
That's right. Amon-Ra was the one that got pulled up in that draft.
So
okay.
on the turn, I took Brock Bowers.
Yep.
And then, wait just a second. My battery's getting low. Hold on just a second.
You haven't been plugged in?
No, it had a full battery. There we go. Round 3, I took Ladd McConkey, just hoping that Mike McDaniels does something. And,
I don't mind that. I think there's a bounce back here coming for him.
4th round, I took T. Higgins fell. Josh didn't like that at Bengal. He fell. I said, that's a good wide receiver 3. Round 5 is where I was like, what do I want to do? There was so many options that I was thinking about going. I said, I'm going to go full-blown wide receivers here. I missed Odunze. I missed
Abuka.
Waddle. I liked him too.
Yeah.
I went upside. I said, because I like the playoff schedule. I like the quarterback we talked about. I said, I'm going to take the rookie with upside. I took Jordan Tyson in the 5th.
Wow.
I said, then I took Chuba Hubbard while we was online. So, and there's other running backs I can get, and that quarterback. I was going to take other players, and I like the other player that me and you talked about too, but I'm going to say that. I don't want nobody
Nice.
right now.
Now here's my rebuttal to you wanting to save it. I don't think you're going to get him in round 5 later.
I'll probably draft again. Josh likes it.
Josh, he put together a nice squad. He's got a nice build going.
I'll send it to you in the Twitter group. But we'll get off here and I'll take a picture of my draft. I can't get it all shrunk down on the. And there's some good players in that draft too, man. I mean, players I respect like Sopranos. Fancy Sopranos.
Yeah.
I think the world of Mike Sanda. He's a beast. He's putting together a good one too. I mean, as always. Like I said, I just wanted to be different. And that don't mean I might take Chuck. I don't know. Be different. That's what it's about. I mean, when you're competing against 4,500 teams, you got to be different somewhere. I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I will tell you this. At 6, I was going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown if he failed. I thought that's who was coming to me. But
JSN following the 6 is nice. I like that.
Yeah. And Bowers. I just want to see how the mixing the tight end, see how it works. Like I said, I don't know. It's
I like that. We talked about this earlier, Joe. I like premium tight end in a heavy wide receiver build. I feel like that's when it maximizes its positional advantage. You got just because generally you can, like you said, you take that one good high volume RB1, and then you can have the option of going wide receiver heavy with a premium quarterback, or going wide receiver heavy with a premium tight end. And I like it better with tight end, unless you're stacking one wide receiver, not multiple from the team. If you can stack one player, and it's really one of those real strong stacks like Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, or Peyton Manning, Bob Harrison, or Tom Brady, Randy Moss. The stack really gotta have that consistent high upside to it. you don't ever want to. I don't necessarily say force and stack, but that's usually when I would go with a premium quarterback if I have the wide receiver one from that team. But
Right.
otherwise, I really like the premium tight end with 4 wide receivers in the first 5 or 6 rounds.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you, I was actually gonna target Joe Burrow, but the guy who took him don't have a bingo. He just took him. I thought I said okay.
Naked.
And the guy who had Jamar Chase in this draft,
6 points per passing touchdown.
Yeah, he's got Josh Allen. The guy who drafted Jamar Chase has got Josh Allen. So I said, okay. And the guy who chased Brown, he didn't get him either. I said, okay, I've got T. Higgins. I said, I'll go with the Burrow Higgins stack combo, or whatever you want to call it, combo. I guess. I said, I'll go with that.
Different.
But it didn't work out that way. So, but like I said, it's early. We'll see how it plays out. But going back to a good friend of mine started implementing the tight end with Tommy Libretti, but he liked a guy that everybody knows. He's with RotoViz. They say he created. It's kind of touchy subject because some people think Chris Vaccaro started it. The
zero. Vaccaro did it by it.
Vaccaro did it. With everybody.
Yeah.
Claimed he won it. I think he won a prime time too. The year or so before or after Chris, it was somewhere around that time, 2011, 13. But he puts out articles every year of like implementing the tight end. He'll give you like a number like 15 running backs for 0 RB build. That's really how he's won over the years. And
and you need the premium tight end. I think you do in the heavy wide receiver 0.
And I like Trey McBride just like the next person. But after coming off a year like he had, even like Michael Wilson coming off the year he had, and this is going to sound crazy to the audience out there, who would the man really want in that offense? Would you take a shot on Marvin Harrison? He's done nothing. He's the one that could really catapult numbers where Wilson and McBride's going to flatline or maybe fall under what they done last year. I mean,
they got Jeremiah Love now too.
Yeah, and with Tyler Algier, they may run the ball more. They may want to take it out of Jacoby Brissett's hand from all the turnovers, even though he's fantasy relevant, but he turns it over. So, I mean, there's just so many. When we're doing these drafts right here, all of us, it's like a puzzle. It's like, let's finish putting this puzzle together. Like I said, we'll see how this works out. See what else I can do with it. I'll keep y'all updated on it. But like I said, we'll get off here. It's 11:30. But I want to go watch a little bit of Tonight Show and look at baseball scoreboard and see how bad my teams are doing.
Nice.
But like I said, I still got
great show tonight.
I have to keep up with the NFSC because it don't shut off till 1:00.
It is 1:00. I do it. It's a 2 hour, and you got a 2 hour window, right?
I said once I get to bed, like if I want to go bed at 12:30, if I'm two picks behind, I said I'll go ahead and fall asleep. You shouldn't have to worry about the 2 hour time limit. They don't start it back till 9 the next morning.
Good. You're good now. If you're not on the clock right now, you're good to go. Yeah.
These guys draft pretty quick, but
2 hour clock isn't bad.
I like that one. But we'll get off here. Like I said, we've got so much more to talk about, come up with, talk strategy, help these people out, help ourselves out. Get a feel from, like I said, Josh and Dan and Steve and whoever else wants to join us, all of us, Gamburg, and see what we can come up with, see what kind of builds we can take from each other, players we like from one another. I hope we put together some fantasy monsters this year. Hopefully, you can put together a good one tomorrow night. I'll be interested.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited about the auction. Those are fun, man.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
Well, good night.
We're gonna get out of here, Joe. Great show. Appreciate everybody in the audience. Tip, JC, Josh, everybody with the questions. Great show tonight. We'll see you all next week. Have a good night.
Okay.